Okay, so today for Wednesday, March 22nd, your objective for science is to work with your lab partner to investigate climate change that occurs at the micro or really small level and macro level. And so in order to be able to do this, we're going to utilize two different PhET simulations. The first one for part A is glaciers, and then the second one for part B is greenhouse gases. And as you investigate with the PhET simulation, let's make sure that we are also completing this sheet, and it should be purple for you as you investigate. Okay, so the first one, we need to open up the glaciers, and I want you to play around with it and see what you notice with your partner. So when you click on that glaciers link, it's going to look like this. You might have to run this with Chirp. So go ahead and click on that, and it might take a second or two. Okay, and so here we can see that we are at a glacier, and we can do a few things. We have some toolbars where we could measure temperature, we could measure the thickness of the glacier, we could measure the distance and elevation. We also have some things down here where we can change the sea level air temperature. We could make the air temperature colder or warmer, and we can change the average snowfall to a little or a lot. Okay, so on your paper, it first asks you to play with the simulation, but then it asks you to see what happens if you take an action. Okay, and I gave you the first one, decrease the average annual snowfall. So if we decrease the snowfall, we have to think about what happens to the glacier. Oh, and we can see that the glacier is shrinking or retreating. We can also see that the thickness changes as well. And you could measure that, but I think visually you could probably also see that. So that's the first part. I want you to think of 3 more actions you can do. And you can either do it on the introduction tab, or you could go to the advanced tab. If you want, it just gives you some graphs. So the introduction is fine. Then the next simulation I want you to try, and again, I have both these on Google Classroom, is the greenhouse effect. So when you click on that link, personally, I like the waves tab, but you can certainly look at the photon tab, and you will need to later on. Okay, and so first I want you to play with the simulation. You can adjust the concentration to a lot of greenhouse gases or not a lot. You can start the sunlight. You can show the energy balance, and I really like how that looks visually. You could also choose to have clouds or no clouds. Okay, so if we go back to our lab paper, oops, it does say to first, discuss your ideas with your partner, adjust the concentration, and see what happens. Okay, and we can also see what happens during today's period, during the Ice Age, and so on. And then it wants you to go to the photon absorption tab. So if we get back here, to find, like today's date or during the Ice Age, you can click on the table to change that. To go to the photon tab, you just click on this on the bottom. Okay, so again, our objective today, I want us to investigate climate change. And we know, of course, climate is, kind of the weather measured over a long, long period of time. So usually many, many years. And I want us to see what happens at the micro level, the greenhouse, gas effect level, and the macro level, the glacier level. All right, and of course, since we have a sub here today, I ask that you are on your best behavior, which I know you already are. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.